my style. Just a bridge, I done burnt them all with a freestyle. Black on both sides de Colombia, oye peep style. Como yo lo hago, ain't nobody.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Today, it's a Week 14 matchup that should be a good one between the Miami Dolphins and the Houston Texans. And we are underway from NRG Stadium in Houston. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Puts it on the carpet, it's out, and the Texans scoop it. And he's going to return it to the 21-yard line.
To put it mildly, that is not the way anyone wants to start off a game. You fumble on your first offensive snap. But now what you're worried about is, does that linger throughout the game for your guys on offense? And how's the defense going to handle it? Because no one expects to run out on the field on the first play and have to all of a sudden start to play themselves.
19 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have it first and goal. Mixon will take this one in for a Texans touchdown. He had the option to hand that football off. I think it's safe to say that he made the right decision. That was a heck of a run.
It certainly was, and when you mentioned the option, most people think the quarterback's not going to keep the ball. You know, in the NFL, that's usually not the recipe for being around too long. So when you do keep it, it often surprises the heck out of a defense.
Point after, right down the middle. And that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They had to fumble on the last drive, wound up leading to the opening touchdown. Now they'll try again here, 1st and 10. This one complete to Jalen Waddle. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down.
You always worry about those smaller receivers running through that gnarly patch of land in the middle of the field. But he did a really nice job there holding on to the football and protected himself as best he could.
And he fires one that's intercepted. And the Texans are going to take over a couple of yards shy of midfield. The rookie was trying to push it downfield, but the safety bit him.
And he'll learn that you have to hold the safety. And you do that with your head movement, your eyes, sometimes your shoulders. Hold the safety so that you can get back to the throw that you really want to make. He got so excited thinking his guy was open that he made it easy for the defensive back to go get the football.
Still 9 remaining on 2nd down. Back to throw here, Herbert. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down.
That's what you're going to need to do against those big receivers. You got to get in there and get physical with them. That time he got in close, got in tight, and knocked the ball away.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Herbert off of play action. And he fires one, but incomplete.
And that is how you respond after taking one on the chin to begin this game. Give up a first drive touchdown, go back out on defense, and completely shut them down to force a 3-and-out.
Oh, it's a wobbler here. Officially, that'll be marked down as just a 28-yard punt. And it'll be Dolphin football. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis.
One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them, and not only are the DBs going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they're going to have a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah, hung out to dry a little bit there on the high throw. Luckily fell incomplete. And a nice run past the 30-yard line there. Yeah, so they get that one, Charles, on the right tackle.
Yeah, oftentimes in that spot, you're trying to work against a defender, trying to set the edge in the running game, and you're trying to drive around and get your body twisted so that he can't get there. Sometimes your hands get too involved.
He's going to air one out. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
They've given him some different looks here defensively in the early going. He's only hit 2 of his first 5 passes. With a big 3rd down coming up, he's hoping he's got a play dialed up that can take advantage of whatever the defense throws at him.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Looking to throw. Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. And the Texans are going to take possession of the football.
A tough adjustment to the NFL throughout his rookie season, and his problem with turnovers is only exacerbated by his early showing today. That's a couple for him here in this first half, and he's cleared the double-digit mark for the entire season.
Mixon with a first down carry. And here he'll get it down to the 7. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Hey, it's not the most spectacular play, but I think most teams will take that every single time for the first play of the drive. Begin the series with positive yardage and set yourself up for a very manageable 2nd down.
Back to Mixon on 2nd down. That's on Shaq Mason, the guard. Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Herbert now. And this turns into a nice gain with a slide at the end. Pretty nice gain on the scramble. Gets him 12 yards.
This early in the game, it's all about making steady progress downfield, hoping to lead to early points. And you can do it with your actual play calls or sometimes something a little more improvised, as we just saw there.
And the Texans are going to have 1st and goal coming up as they're able to convert there on 3rd and 2. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that.
Touchdown, Texans! Robbie Anderson. Touchdown number 18 on the year. And the Texans have taken a 13-0 first quarter lead. Extra point splits the uprights, and that'll make the score 14-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And he will not bring it out. He'll just go down to a knee here for a touchback. And the ball will come out to the 25. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up. And now a fumble. The ball's out, and his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. And so the last 3 drives, you've got 2 interceptions and a fumble. I think we know why they're losing right now.
Without question, and we've seen the evidence, just what you talked about there. If they take care of the football, number 1, maybe they're not having this deficit, and number 2, maybe they actually have the lead.
And he's going to go down. They get it to him back at the 40.
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. That's a step in the right direction defensively here because you're facing this sizable deficit. They're going to need more plays like that. A good sack, though. Good effort there.
And what you're hoping is, as you said, a step in the right direction, and that means it's something to build on. So you get the first one, and hopefully that can ignite them, and now they can make a few more plays and get back into this game.
He went backwards there 8 yards, and it brings up 3rd down. Now Herbert with it, looking to pass.
He'll drop this one down to Mixon, and he'll be hauled down at about the 30-yard line.
But I think that we all figured when he caught it that short of the marker that the defense almost relaxed and said, we've got this covered. And then all of a sudden, space to run after the catch. And now they're screaming, somebody get him down. Fortunately, they got to him and forced the 4th down.
So the fumble recovery had them set up in ideal field position, but they can muster only 3 points out of it.
Yeah, when you're able to force turnovers, especially when it results in field position like they had, you really want to make it hurt. Here, they take the field goal. That's definitely not what they were hoping for.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive a little more pep in their step because it didn't cost their team a touchdown, but they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach would be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield and punch in the end zone without turning it over.
Now whistles and a flag, and I believe a Dolphin got going a little early. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. Back to throw here.
This will be caught. It's Waddle.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 17 yards is the pickup there for number 17.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed 1st down there. They needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. He's going to float this one deep right side. And a penalty flag comes in as that one winds up incomplete, but the contact is going to move the ball well downfield. After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. Now back to throw. And here's another interception, the 3rd of this 1st quarter.
And the Texans are going to have it here at their own 9-yard line.
So his struggle is just continuing here in the 1st half, throwing the football. Charles, now 3 interceptions.
And they don't feel like they're just great plays by the defense. There's a sense that maybe he's a little careless with the football now. So some of the great coaches in the past, you know, they've always said, I can't teach you, obviously, because you're not listening. So maybe the bench can teach you. He's got to be careful now. He might get pulled.
To throw on 2nd and 10.
Herbert. This goes out wide from Mixon.
They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. 17-0 our score after 1. The Texans on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. Justin Herbert looking to pass. And that's knocked away and incomplete.
That might be the 3rd down stop that they needed because they've had a lot of trouble slowing down this offense in the first half. This might be their opportunity to get off the field.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Now Hill to return it. And call that an even 50 yards on the punt with 7 on the return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
But I think it's high time to get him some passes that he's comfortable with. Some easy throws, some completions. He's not even hitting to 50% thus far.
Well, certainly that has played a big role in why they are trailing right now. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And he can only manage to take this thing to the 38, well shy of the 1st down. On 4th down, J.K. Scott ready to punt it away. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. Taken in at the 22. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive.
And they, on paper, Charles, no doubt they have the edge in this one. They are sitting with the AFC elite, and on the other side, they're down toward the bottom of the AFC. But you know what they say, especially at this point in the season, watch out for a trap game.
And in doing so, I would take my game plan and condense it. I would rely on my fundamentals, the fact that my players are probably just better, and not try and do too much, do just enough to win the game. And on the other side of the field, I'm doing everything. Every trick play I can think of, every different formation, you name it, I'm throwing it at them in order to try and get the upset win.
Oftentimes when you lose in a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Now it's Herbert. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
The Texans send the punter out as he'll come on to kick this one away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away.
And this returnable for Hill.
And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. That'll wind up being a 50-yard punt, though they do get 10 back on the return.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive.
And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're
You
down.
don't want to.
No, but well, let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. They push him back 8 yards that time on second down.
Tall task ahead of him here, needing a full 15 yards to move the chains.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. That's caught by his big tight end, Mike Gesicki. And he'll be taken down well before the first at about the 36-yard line. Here's J.K. Scott set to do the punting honors. It'll be a 39-yard punt, 4 on the return.
And the Texans will take over. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. No points last time out. They were forced to punt, if you remember, but no time to dwell on that. They've still got the lead here and a chance to add to that here. 1st and 10 as this new drive starts.
No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Justin Herbert looking to throw on second down.
Can't get away, and he's taken down.
Buried behind the line by Christian Wilkins.
I don't know about you, but if I'm the offensive line coach right now, I'm having an absolute fit. This team that they're going against has 3 sacks, yet they rank dead last in the league in sacks coming into this game.
Maybe overlooked them a little bit?
Could be. I don't know if it's the scheme. I don't know if they've just gotten fortunate along the way. I have no real great answer for it, but we're seeing something you don't often see.
It's hauled in by Brandon Cooks.
And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that.
They get 15, but they still needed a little bit more. 4th down.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action.
The Texans send the punter out as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line.
And he's got to be fired up about that effort. I don't think he could have walked down and placed it any better than where he ended up putting the football. That was excellent.
The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive.
Well, they're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
From deep in their own territory, they look to throw.
On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete.
Well, this defense is certainly organized and playing off of each other because the rush is providing pressure and the coverage is forcing incompletions and capitalizing on mistakes. When you get every level on defense hitting it once, you get first half scores just like this one.
Back to throw.
Got a man. It's Waddle, complete. And he is going to have the Dolphins first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
He'll look to throw. And he first shot in there. It's out of bounds, incomplete.
But there's an incompletion, partner, and the struggles through the air continue because so far their lack of passing production has led to a lack of points.
One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. The Texans here on third down putting an extra defender in the secondary. They'll bring a receiver in motion left. On third and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Thus far, they've been able to move the line of scrimmage very well in the running game. Almost felt like they said in the huddle, can you guys pass protect? Let's take a big shot downfield. Didn't get it on that one, but they may come back to it again.
Here's J.K. Scott now as he's on to punt for Miami. Seven yards on the return after a punt of 39. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And with a 17-0 lead in tow, they might not be too eager to press the issue here. And that's going to be too high, out of bounds and incomplete.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Yeah, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Herbert, he'll get this to Lazard. Finding room at midfield. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. 25 yards there on the catch and run. Herbert setting up to throw on first down. Open man downfield is Davis. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. 2 chunk plays in a row. The last one was over 20 yards, and so is this one. To the air again, Herbert. And that is caught. Touchdown, Texans. Robbie Anderson as the first half is winding down. And the Texans would extend their lead here just before halftime.
That score that they just gave up there, that's a tough one for their defense to swallow because they've had a tough time through the first 2 quarters. They really were determined to get a stop there. Unable to do so, that makes their comeback hopes that much more difficult.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. He'll drop to throw. And he's got his tight end. It's Mike Gesicki. Now a signal and a timeout call as it comes with 9 seconds to go in this first half of play. They'll look to throw here on first down. He's going to throw one up for the end zone.
And this is going to be intercepted. And the Texans are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And they'll have time for one play. There's 2 seconds on the clock. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. It's the Texans in front, and they're going to get the football first as we are back underway in the third quarter. Fields it right around the goal line. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Herbert. On this one, incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's second down.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes. But the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10. Here's Herbert. And that's complete to Cooks. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Just his 2nd catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains. On 1st and 10, Herbert. Open man, complete downfield to Davis. He'll get it inside the 20. And he's going to be taken down right at the 10-yard line.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
Again, Herbert. And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it.
You got to be precise with your throws, especially in this situation. You're inside the 10-yard line going into the end zone. But sometimes the emotion, the excitement, sometimes the decisions just aren't made very well because of that.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Schultz. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
Pierce will try to pick it up. And he's in for the score. Touchdown, Texans. Dameon Pierce with his 4th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Texans take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Out is the Texans kick team as they'll send this one away. Certainly not what they wanted there, so the football by rule comes out to the 40. So now the possession will begin at the 35 after the errant kickoff.
Well, that's certainly one way to avoid a dangerous kick returner, I suppose, but you are giving up extra yardage, that's for sure. Because if you put it out of the end zone, they start at the 25. So at a minimum, you're giving up 10 yards to the offense.
They go play action here on 1st down. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. I was pretty surprised there when they lined up to run it on 2nd and long, but it worked out for him.
It certainly did, and that requires some confidence, some fortitude, and a little bit of hope, doesn't it? You hope you catch the defense just right and break off a big run to help yourself out on the next down.
They'll look to throw here.
And that is incomplete.
Well, this is just a continuation of what we saw in the first half. So much for the fresh start to begin the third quarter. Still off-target throws, no rhythm throwing the football, and obviously no touchdown scored in this game.
They're indeed going for it as they look to throw. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the Texans take over an excellent field position. Inside handoff to Mixon. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. Back to throw here, Herbert. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Going to throw on 3rd down with Herbert. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
Charles, even as long field goals become more and more common, this is still a very rarefied air. Only just over 20 field goals have been kicked from 60 yards or further, and you can add his name to the list now.
And as calm as he tried to present himself, there's no doubt there were some nerves as he lined up to attempt that kick. But once the ball was snapped, he just swept the leg and boom, over the crossbar.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive.
Well, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable now. A win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles. But I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the...
And now here's another interception. Jalen Petrie picks it off. And the Texans will have the football as this is taken up past the 30. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Herbert. He'll drop this one down to Mixon. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield.
This offensive game plan has just been sensational. I mean, when you think about all the different ways they've gotten their receivers open so far, it's really been impressive. Scheme, design, execution.
Mixing up the middle. And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much as he's down to the 48. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. On 2nd down, here's Pierce. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. A pickup of 11 and a Texans 1st down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
From the gun, a give to Mixon. And able to get this to the 24-yard line. They began the play at the 12. It's also a pickup of 12 for the 1st down.
They'll try the air now with Herbert. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Well, it looked like a march to the end zone has hit a momentary roadblock with that incompletion. No need to panic. They just got to come up with a high percentage play call and see if they can get their offense back on track.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a third down. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we played 3 quarters. Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains. Herbert now. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And fourth down now coming up. And his kick is indeed good, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been. And my goodness, another interception. Jalen Petrie picks it off. And the Texans are going to take possession of the football. Well, they've got the huge lead. Now they have another interception on the defensive side. Seems like everything they touch in this one, Charles, turns to gold.
And they have to be awfully happy right there to get what appears to be one more for the road. It helps seal away one of their best efforts of the season.
First and 10, it's Pierce. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, second and 12. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
And they'll go right back to Pierce. It'll be a 5-yard pickup there, so from second and 13, they're back to a more manageable third and 8.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from blocking.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Javon Holland. And the Dolphins are going to get the football here at their own 23. Now they get a fourth quarter pick, a little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other, but it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
And second and 10, he'll look to throw again. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. Give him 15 yards on that one, and the Dolphins have a first down. They're going to look to throw. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. And you hate to say it with a rookie quarterback. He's done some good things, but overall, looked a little bit overwhelmed back there, hasn't he?
He certainly has. But in his defense, he hasn't had a lot of time to throw the football. You like the way I said that? In his defense.
In his defense. I got it.
See what I did there?
Yeah. He needs better protection, that's for sure.
I know conventional wisdom says, hey, don't get it all back in one play. But sometimes you go ahead and try to. They tried to get it all back on that one. Weren't able to do so.
They'll bring a receiver in motion right. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's going to float this one deep right side. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. He's going to take another shot here. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. So they've gone for it twice now on 4th down of this game, and both times unsuccessful.
I wish we could hear the headsets now between the head coach and the offensive coordinator. Now that they're 0 for 2, if they get into a 3rd situation, head coach might say, hey, you got anything for this one? Might get radio silence back.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Not a big run on the first play of the drive, but that doesn't necessarily mean it was a bad play. Sometimes you're just trying to settle in, get your guys a little bit of contact, and get things moving.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. And Pierce gets it again on 2nd down. And he'll take this inside the 30 to about the 29, maybe the 28-yard line. They follow up the first down 1-yard run with a minimal gain of 2.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
On 3rd down, here's Pierce.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Here's Pierce on the counter.
And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. 11 yards on the pickup, and that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair.
Going for it with Pierce.
He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. And this one is right through. And that will extend their lead even further.
So a nice kick there as they are able to add on to their lead.
And that's exactly what you're looking to do. Maneuver yourself into range. That way, if your drive stalls out, you're able to get something out of it. And they do so right there.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Back to throw now on first down. And now here is another interception. interception.
And the Texans are going to take possession of the football.
Yet another mistake after the interception there. And, gosh, you look up at the scoreboard, they just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can't. And also what happens when you get this big of a deficit, you're supposed to make all the right throws, right? You're supposed to try and obviously get the ball to your own guys. But being down this big, you also take even more chances. And in this situation, that hasn't paid off for them at all.
On the other sideline, jubilation and laughter.
Second and 11 now. Pierce now up the middle.
And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards. Now the Dolphins will use the last of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
They go again with Pierce. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. Fourth down now after a loss of 2.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Away. That was never in doubt, and that will extend their lead even further.
Well, the only silver lining on the other sideline, CD, is that they kept him out of the end zone, but still, that's another 3 points added on to this large lead.
He had no shortage of scoring or big